Good day, my people. Welcome to the expose. If you see this face for the first time, please hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell so to post more videos you can be notified. And we're back with a popular demand. We've been away for quite some time and I missed you guys. I hope that you missed us too on this show. So today, guys, I just wanna share what I've seen through as I was away, but then this is our comeback. But today we came back with David Ucha and J Israel. David Ucha came blazing, claiming that Zimbabwe is stinking. Remember, David Ucha is a Nigerian who is based in South Africa, pushing his Yahoo with them, manipulating South Africans there, preaching his stomach gospel. And J Israel used to be also a false prophet residing in South Africa, but now he's back in his home country, Zimbabwe. So David Ucha came blazing, ridiculing and insulting Zimbabwe. And this didn't sit well with J Israel. So let's listen to David Ucha when he is making all those claims that Zimbabwe is stinking, people shit on the highway and other stuff. Listen to this video. When they come back, we're gonna talk.
2 years ago, I went to Zimbabwe and I was scared. I regretted ever going there. Zimbabwe is scary. It's not a place to go to. You will smell wickedness in the air. From the airports there, the immigration, I've never seen a dirty immigration like that before in my life. The immigration looked like Gateman in Nigeria. That's the only place I've seen that Nigeria is better than. Because Nigerian immigration, they wear clean uniform. But that immigration there, they are just like Gateman in Nigeria. I was so shocked. I said, what is going on here? Zimbabwe have big name, but it has dirty. I say, what I saw in Zimbabwe, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. I saw people pooping on highway. They were shitting in highway. Car was passing. It was a life service. So a man live pooping on the highway, and everybody was passing. Then I know insanity is in Africa.
So David Ucha is claiming that Zimbabwe is stinking, and the immigration officers are like a gateman in Zimbabwe, in Nigeria. So even the immigration uniform was dirty and stuff, and all this stuff that this man David Ucha is claiming. And this didn't sit well with J Israel. J Israel made a comeback, blazing hot to David Ucha. Listen now, what is J Israel is saying regarding the statement or the things that David Ucha said about the country of Zimbabwe. Listen to J Israel.
Prophet David, or whatever you call yourself, let me make this crystal clear. You are going to regret the day that you opened your stinking mouth to insult my beautiful country, Zimbabwe, my brother. You're very, very, extremely highly disrespectful. A vile statement about our immigration officers being dirty. Do you know those are our parents? And the country is smelling. Do you know this is our nation? It's not only an insult, it's a war, my brother. You have spat on the dignity of a nation, disrespected its people, and worse off. This is unpardonable. You have insulted the intelligence of my president, a man who is working day and night to develop this country into something great. You don't know what you have just started for yourself. I've been to Nigeria personally. I've been to Nigeria several times. More than times that I can even count. I've walked your streets, visited very, very powerful and highly respected men in your nation, Nigeria. I saw what I saw. I smelled what I smelled. But I never came back and insulted Nigeria. Do you know why? Because I respect the Nigerian people and I love the Nigerian people. In fact, I love the jollof rice. It is the best in Africa, by the way. Anyway, that was a joke and that's the only one. You have disrespected my homeland. And now, guess what? Tada, you've got my full attention. You are a fraud hiding behind the pulpit, using the name of God to rob the desperate people. I know half of your congregation. And guess what? Ask them. Some of your leaders, they were once in my ministry when I used to be in South Africa. And you are here talking trash about Zimbabwe. Yet I know what you're doing to the people in your own congregation. I think that's below the belt. You have chosen the wrong nation to look for clout and to look for views and whatever on social media. Let me tell you this, my dear friend. You will never set your foot in this country. You are never going to hold your events in this nation under our watch as the Harare Economic Forum. We are going to give you a condition. If you happen to be in Zimbabwe, or if you happen to come to this beautiful nation of Zimbabwe, we have hosted great men from your nation in this Zimbabwe. Apostle Johnson Suleiman has been here. Dr. Chris Okafor has been here. Prophet TB Joshua has been here. Pastor Chris Oyakilome has been here. And you, a boy who was born yesterday, has the audacity, the nerves, and the guts to open your stinking mouth to insult Zimbabwe. Here's my condition to you. Retract your statement. Apologize to my people. Apologize to Zimbabwe. Apologize to everybody. You are a small boy of yesterday. You are beginning to chew more than you can swallow. And there are consequences. You are so consumed with pomposity. You are so consumed with arrogance. You are such a rogue element with no respect for elders, no respect for leaders, no respect for people. And you are out there in South Africa claiming and masquerading to be a prophet when you are a liar, a charlatan, a robber, a thief, and a scammer. Guess what you have done for yourself? You've just earned yourself, congratulations. You've just earned yourself 6 months of problems that are going to follow you. And hear me very well. Because of what you have done, because of what you have said about Zimbabwe, for the next 6 months, you are my project, my man. Every service, I'll be there to watch what you're saying, to hear what you're saying. You will not see my face, but I will be there. I'll see you on Sunday. And please, I would like you to repeat this coming Sunday, because I'll be in your church. I'd like you to repeat and show me, because the Zimbabwe I know. Look at this Zimbabwe. You see this Zimbabwe? This is the Zimbabwe that you're talking about. The immigration, look at that airport. Does that airport look to you like an airport that is dirty and stinking like you're saying? Look at all these things that you're looking at. Do they all look to you like dirty and stinking things? Led by a president with no direction? You must be out of your stupid mind. And hear me, I'm not speaking to you from the office of a pastor, by the way. I'm defending the integrity of my nation. And for my president and for my country, this I will do.
So Jay Israel happens to be the chairman of Harare Economic Forum, and he's affiliated with the Zimbabwean president Emmerson Mnangagwa. So Jay Israel is claiming that David Uche is a charlatan. David Uche is masquerading as a prophet of God in South Africa, but he is a charlatan. And he will be watching him, he will be there exposing David Uche. So what it means that Jay Israel will be sitting there and expose this guy again, because you know Jay Israel is the one who used to expose every prophet when he was in South Africa, and he had a huge following of the people. Some of the people woke up and were so they came back into reality that they were following false prophets, because Jay Israel exposed even all the prophets that he used to do shenanigans with. So now he will be watching David Uche everywhere he goes. And he's claiming that David Uche will be banned in Zimbabwe because they don't want to attract people like him and stuff. And then he showed Zimbabwe the cleanest airport I've ever seen on these pictures, and the cleanest Zimbabwe I've ever seen. I didn't know, but as Jay Israel is saying that David Uche, I think he is expecting an apology, unless he apologized, but swearing to the country of Zimbabwe didn't sit well with Jay Israel. That's why he came back with this statement. So, on this next video, David Uche, I don't know if maybe he is making an apology or is trying to advise his followers not to speak bad about another country, because after Jay Israel made this statement, David Uche came with something that looks like an apology, but it's for you to judge if this is an apology or what. I don't know if it's an apology or what, but watch David Uche telling his congregants that don't speak bad about the country, maybe you're gonna go there, they don't treat you well, stuff like that. Watch this video of David Uche coming back after Jay Israel made this statement that you have just watched. Watch.
God was talking to me. He said, I said some things about Zimbabwe. He said, you don't talk like that to about a nation. So don't think he doesn't correct me. He does. Even if you see something wrong about the nation, say the positive. Don't even call the name of the nation, because one day you will travel there. How do you expect them to treat you? When it's my own personal human experience that I went to this country, it was not, you are not supposed to say it, except it's a prophecy that God gave you. You are not called as a prophet to talk your human experience. Am I a talk God? Am I?
So is this an apology or what? Or is David Uche trying to correct himself? Or is David Uche trying to apologize in disguise? Or to show Jay Israel that he regrets what he said? But I don't know. It's for you to judge if is this an apology or what. And now, Jay Israel was not convinced about this. He came back and claimed that this is not an apology. He don't want this kind of an apology. Because you must remember this, Jay Israel, after David Uche said everything about Zimbabwe, Jay Israel, as the chairman of the Harare Economic Forum, he wrote to the Home Affairs of Zimbabwe to ban David Uche from entering the country. He wrote all this statement to the Zimbabwean government of Home Affairs Department to ban David Uche and to deem him as a persona non grata. You can go on Jay Israel's Facebook page and read everything there. So now Jay Israel was not convinced about this statement about David Uche that don't go to another country and speak bad unless it's a prophecy and stuff. So let's listen what Jay Israel wants. Or is he convinced about this statement? What?
That was not an apology. David Uche dodged accountability. What he offered was not an act of apology or repentance, but that was just a carefully rehearsed exercise in what I would like to call, just for this video, manipulation. Because to claim that God rebuked him without uttering just the simple essential words, I apologize, is not humility at all. That is arrogance, clogged in spiritual theatrics. There was a public relations maneuver deliberately crafted to deflect the blame without any consequences. And if God had truly spoken to him as he claims, then we would have at least seen just at least three things. Number one, a full retraction of his insults towards our beautiful nation, Zimbabwe. Number two, a clear and unambiguous apology to the people and to the nation of Zimbabwe. Number three, a full commitment to correct what he said, because it is damaging to the narrative of Zimbabwe that we are trying to change. And now, as the chairman of the Harare Economic Forum, I do not raise my voice over trivial matters, because my responsibility is a national responsibility, as the Harare Economic Forum is at the center of a national project to reposition Zimbabwean global image, to restore investor confidence, and to assert ourselves as a rising force in Africa's economic and geopolitical landscape. That is why I will not keep quiet and allow you to utter rubbish and go scot-free. We are leading conversations, my dear brother, in this nation called Zimbabwe. We are leading conversations with policymakers, private capital, regional institutions, and global partners. And every careless word that is spoken, whether by a politician, by a pastor, a prophet, a teacher, an apostle, or whatever, as long as it is damaging to the image of Zimbabwe, there are consequences that will follow. This is why I will not treat Ucha's words as harmless. And I'll tell you why. He insulted a nation, undermined a people. And now he wants to retreat and hide behind vague spirituality, claiming, oh, God rebuked me in the middle of the night. Come on, I've been there. I know that language. Cut that nonsense. This is what I'm demanding from you. You have 24 hours to issue a real, written, signed, and public apology to the President of Zimbabwe and to the people of Zimbabwe. Not vague words, not spiritual riddles, but a formal retraction, acknowledgement of your wrongdoing. If you fail to do so, I assure you, and be rest assured, you will regret ever opening your mouth to talk against Zimbabwe, and you will know that Zimbabwe is not a playground. That's why I keep saying, you chose the wrong country to look for clout. A very painful lesson is going to befall you. And let me leave you with a word from the motherland, from the soil of our ancestors, right here in Zimbabwe. A man who insults the crocodile while still inside the river has already written his own obituary. My name is J. Israel Senior, the chairman of the Harare Economic Forum, and I approve this message.
Hey! A man who insulted a crocodile while he's still inside the river is writing his own obituary. Is this a threat or is a correction? Because now J. Israel is saying David Ucha will regret it because he chose a wrong country for chasing his own cloud. You chased a cloud in a wrong country. So in Zimbabwe, you don't play like that. That's what J. Israel is saying. And they're trying to change the reputation of Zimbabwe, trying to build Zimbabwe, trying to make Zimbabwe a country that is attracted to investors. And David Ucha is saying Zimbabwe is stinking. But I have a question. Is this a threat, or is this a correction, or is this an advice to David Ucha? Because now J. Israel is saying David Ucha must withdraw his words and he must apologize in a full manner. He must make a whole effort and apologize in a clean way, whereby he will be seen that he regrets what he said, because for now he will regret it. All the words he has just said, he will regret it. So in other words, there is no freedom of speech in Zimbabwe. It's not like the country like South Africa and other countries where you can speak anything. Because this man is affiliated with the president of Zimbabwe, and the president of Zimbabwe is a man of his word. He doesn't joke around. So David Ucha is in a risk not to visit Zimbabwe again ever in his life. So if he wants to visit Zimbabwe, he must apologize. So it's for you viewers at home to judge. Is J. Israel right? Is David Ucha wrong? So it's for you to judge. But J. Israel wants a formal apology. He wants David Ucha to withdraw his words that he said, whatever he said about Zimbabwe. This is the expose You judge. Comment in the comment section what you think about this video. Like, share, please subscribe. Let's see one another on another video. This is the expose, and I'm out.